My name is Gracie Fate.
And I'm Erin Allen.
And we are Twisted Spoke.
Welcome to the CWC podcast with your hosts, David Selby, Andy Horton, and Savannah Smith.
Can you guys introduce yourselves and the team that you compete under?
Okay, we can.
I'm Erin Allen.
My name is Gracie Fate.
And we race under Twisted Spoke.
Okay, and what divisions do you guys compete in?
Go ahead. Okay, so we do Land Rush at Clinton and Association if they do Land Rush, and then we do 46-inch pony rubber tire division, and we just picked up the buckboard. So
I know we saw you guys out pretty frequently at all these different events.
Yes.
And you are pretty well known for outriding.
I think my horse is more well known than I am, honestly. So
well, the horse, but then who's riding, who's controlling the outcome.
I don't know if there's any control there. But yeah, I mean, it's like you said in one of the podcasts, she's my little pony, how she sinks down and she just sprints.
As you can see her, it's like once she hits the stride, she'll sink down.
She has a mode.
Oh yeah.
It's cool to watch.
Yeah. She's serious about it.
So how did you guys get introduced to Chuckwagon racing?
So I grew up rodeoing, more on the rodeo side of everything, and my brother actually rode with a boy named Jace Watts, Lance and Deshaun Watt. They're White Clover cattle. It's their son. And our families were all close. We'd always go watch the wagon races. And I always thought it was inspiring. Like, I always wanted to do it. And I remember asking my Aunt Deshaun, like, when are you going to let me race? Like, let me in the wagon with you. Like, I'll just sit behind you, and chill. You won't even know I'm there. And I remember quite literally begging for years. And then one year she come to me and asked me if I would drive her 46-inch ponies that she had retired in Rookie Inn. That was in 2022. And I rookied that year, and then I met Erin shortly after.
Yeah, I've always rodeoed, so I've always been into the horse thing. I grew up on horses. So at Greasy Bend, when they did their fall trail ride before, they did association chuckwagon races. This was the fall before. I knew Deshaun, so I introduced myself to Gracie at the concert. Well, we talked a little bit, but we didn't really, talk very much. Like, we didn't get to know each other very well. So the next day, she came to the trail ride, and
yeah, it's kind of fun. I knew her as, like, when we were on the trail ride.
Shopped a lot.
Yeah, I knew Erin as this girl who come in on Friday and shop, like, cause I
shop.
Yeah, like, she come and shopped. She was serious about the shopping, and so we met in here, and I honestly felt bad whenever she come up to me, because I was like, man, I just know this girl from the
I know her face. I don't know her.
Yeah.
And so, we went on that trail ride, and I was on this big black horse. I mean, huge black 2-year-old horse. And he dumped me. And after that, she started talking to me. So
that's all bad,
It's like it for the horse. I mean,
she was careful enough to get back on that black horse. I knew she'd make it. What are you gonna wagon race and stuff?
Gosh.
Well, what has been y'all's, reality as opposed to what you expected it to be? More of a question for you, I suppose, not being as familiar.
Well, I mean, every time I get on that horse or in a wagon or any of it, it makes me so nervous. And Gracie's like, pull it together.
Oh,
come
all
on.
the time.
Let's go. And I get in there, and once we get to the line, I'm fine. But it's beforehand, I am a nervous wreck. I mean, I'm always nervous.
She's always had confidence on a fast horse, though.
I'm confident on my mare.
Yeah.
If I'm anywhere, like...
When we originally met, she was like, you need an outrider. And I was like, I do. And I saw you riding that big black horse today, So
it's like, I can do this. I have a really fast horse. Yeah, I said, she's not very big, but she's fast, I promise. She's like, no, she's not. I was like, okay, we'll see.
And this is the same red horse that is now well known?
Well, you rode your app horse a little bit.
Yeah, I started out on my app.
Building confidence.
Building my confidence at the first Greasy Bend. I started out on him. He's not very fast. He's my barrel horse. He can turn a barrel, but he cannot run a straight line very fast. So.
And then she started riding Cutter, and it just... Yeah. That year, that was the rookie year we spent together. Her rookie year. Yep. 2023 when she won it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's exciting. So how has it been this year getting more ingrained into the sport and trying out different divisions?
Nervous. It's nerve-wracking.
It's definitely like, I mean, it's an eye opener. You know,
Yeah.
you watch it and you're like, oh, we could do that, you know, but
And then you get behind them and then you're like, whoa.
they're different. You know, everything's different. I mean, yes, it's similar in ways, but it's very different in ways, you know, and each animal's different. You got to know your animals.
I mean, you have to step up. I mean, because you start at 46 and you're like, oh, this is easy. You know, for some of them, not all of them, some of them. And then you step up to buckboard and you're like, these ponies are a lot stronger.
yeah.
And then, yeah. So, I mean, it slowly progresses on the strength and the power of those animals.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So something I've always been really curious about is from outside looking in, you would think it would be extremely easy to catch a 46-inch team. But after doing interviews, I've heard that might not actually be the case. So
Yeah.
please educate me.
Yeah, there's definitely some misconceptions when it comes to can a big horse, is it easier for the big horse to catch the smaller ponies, you know, than it is opposed to catching the 52s or the buckboard or the classics. To me, your outrider still has the same job. They still have to mount their horse. They still have to round the barrel, and the same amount of things can go wrong. And there's also some ponies that can absolutely mortally fly. I mean, we've seen some 46 ponies clock, say, like 2 or 3 seconds off of a buckboard team, you know?
All at the same time.
Or the same times. We've seen that happen. So I definitely think there's a misconception there because that job is just as hard. For sure.
I agree.
Okay. So you feel like they're just as fast as far as
yeah.
having to catch.
They can be.
They can
Yeah.
be, but not all of them. I mean, you have to think they have little legs.
Yeah, we have seen a few that are
Little legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. For sure.
But I mean, they can. There's some that just have the heart and the guts to do it, and they can just fly.
Okay. Well, what drew you guys specifically to the 46-inch pony division starting out?
For me, I was watching Deshawn. Like, I had watched Deshawn growing up, and I had those ponies that I had the privilege of driving. Like, she literally drove me to the line and got out of the wagon. It was like, catch her at the end, you know? I had admired it, and for me to, once I sat in that wagon, and those ponies had won it 7 times before, and then I had the fastest time that year, I was just hooked. The 46-inch ponies are fun. They're fun.
I just started it because that was where Gracie started. That's where she was. And I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. So, which I didn't know about the rubber tire and the cook and the outrider part of it. I just knew I could sit on my horse and I could run a straight line.
And you'd been to Clinton. You'd watched.
And I've been to Clinton years before, and I've watched I've been there like 6 or 7 years before I started. So I've watched it for a long time. I never really understood it until I started in 23.
Speaking of involvement, the Twisted Spoke was a very active sponsor within this last year. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, ma'am. So we did what we called a quick 8, and it was the last 8 races of the ACWA season for 2025. And for each race, we picked a division and added money to each division. And we tried to pick the tracks. I remember sitting down and me and Aaron were like, okay, which tracks are the most intense and interesting to add the money to? So for example, we did
Spain.
Yeah.
Big mules.
Yep, that hill is just insane.
Oh, yes.
Baker, Spain.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then we did Chase Outlaws for Classic because he had that just log track. You know, you're really seeing those animals with stamina pushed to that limit. So we tried to add the money to where the tracks we felt were most intense. So
And we picked Camden for Land Rush because I just love that track.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for Land Rush.
yes.
I mean, that track is really, the ground's really secure. I mean, we've not seen a slip on any of our animals or our horses or anything. So,
Which is crazy because that is by the airport and you know it's compact and that sand and everything, but it's a good track.
it's a solid track.
Yeah, I feel like they had to have done something different last year as opposed to the previous year because there were a few dips that I remember from a filming standpoint, like going back later and watching and seeing how the animals' feet look just odd. And then I didn't seem to notice that as much this last year.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work on it this year. I know last year they filled most of those holes with sand, which, I mean, it took a lot out of those animals hitting that sand so quick. I mean, it stopped them pretty quick. But I think it's set up this year, and they may have started earlier on it, and it really helped it.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Well, what was it about the sport and the community that made you guys want to be a sponsor?
The sport is really another branch off of the equine industry that I've always loved. Growing up in the rodeo, you know, I've always had that in my heart, but branching out into another sport in the industry drew me to it, truly. Yes.
Okay. And then this question's going to be for you because you mentioned that you rodeoed a lot.
Yeah.
differences and similarities do you notice in the rodeo industry as opposed to the chuckwagon industry?
I think people are just as supportive in probably the rodeo industry as they are. I mean, you have a family in either industry. So, I mean, we've got our group of people that we travel with, that we help each other at the rodeos or at the races even, because, I mean, we hang out with the same people pretty much every race, and we introduce ourselves and meet a lot of new people. So, I think it's the support system that's pretty similar.
Okay. So if you had somebody in the rodeo community that wasn't as familiar with chuckwagon racing, what would you tell them to get them to at least just come and watch?
So I have a lot of people tell me that I'm crazy at the rodeos. They're like, "You're crazy. You wagon race." And I'm like, "Yeah, you should come watch it. It's really fun, actually. It's entertaining." And they're like, "Oh, I can't." I'm like, "You don't have to do it. Just come and watch it." And they're like, "Well, we'll come. We'll come. We go to Clinton, but we don't really watch." And I'm like, "Just watch it one time." And I mean, then they'll come up to me like the next rodeo or whenever they see me after that, and they're like, "You were right. I think, what does it take to start?" And I was like, "A lot."
That's the question we really like to hear.
Yeah, a lot. But I mean, it takes a lot of commitment, and it takes a lot of time and effort, but I mean, it's fun when you get there, and it's worth it.
I agree. As someone who never rodeoed, who really just enjoyed community and riding, it's interesting as a whole.
Yes.
I would say it's something that everybody should experience at least once in their life. If you never watched it, it's the experience, and you learn a lot and have a lot of respect for the people and the animals, for sure.
Something I've always thought is how neat it is that, not to discredit it by any means, but I feel like there are certain skills that are utilized in chuckwagon racing that are, more in line with original Western heritage as opposed to roping or competing in an arena. So that's what I think is so cool, is that chuckwagon racing is tangibly carrying on this lifestyle and these values, and
100%
it's really neat.
I agree.
For sure.
So if you could describe the 46-inch pony division in one sentence, what would it be?
I can describe it in one word. It's chaotic.
We like to say it's controlled chaos, a little bit of control, a whole lot of chaos,
I mean, if you go to the line at Clinton, and I mean, there's 4 wagons, and you better move or you are getting ran over.
Yes.
And it's chaotic, but it's for the most part controlled.
And there's sometimes on that line, like I remember last year, Aaron.
Last year we had barrels.
Yes, last year we had barrels.
This year we did not have barrels, and they were all just. I mean, outriders were over here, and these wagons were wheel to wheel on the bluff.
On the bluff, like everybody's scooting, and you're sitting there and you're just watching the gun, and you're just like, and then it feels like you sat there for 5 minutes, and you're really sitting there for 30 seconds, maybe. But it's that 30 seconds feels like your entire life,
I mean, even last year, even with the barrels, I mean, I was between, there was Gracie, there was another wagon, an outrider, and me. And everybody just
closes in.
And I'm just like weaving through them. And
there's a picture shot.
Yes, there's a really good picture. I can't remember who took the picture, but I have it. And I'm just like leaning over here, and she's over here, and we're just weaving through.
And I remember getting to the trailer, and I was like, "Don't you ever do that again!" Like
I said, I was getting out of the way.
I think somebody put it on Facebook, a little clip, and was like, "Erin Allen, you're insane."
I'm gonna have to go find the footage of this now.
Yeah, I think it was the first day. It was Friday.
Think it was too.
It was Friday, and well over 11. Yeah.
She could tell you better than me, because I don't want to watch that clip anymore.
Remind me, I have to show you the picture. I have the picture.
I think I put it in a little TikTok of, it was, my emergency contact is always the emergency. And it's her, like, in between the wagon.
Very fitting.
Yes.
Very fitting.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go back and be really rudimentary here. I know we've lightly discussed this, but could you explain what the 46-inch pony division is for someone who's maybe not ever heard of it?
So the ponies are 46 inches or under. It's different for the association versus at Clinton at the National Championship Chuckwagon races, because at Clinton you can average, and we really just learned this recently. Aaron was telling me about it, but they're 46 inches or under for the association, or you can average. you
can't average.
can't average it to associate.
But at Clinton.
But
Yes,
at Clinton, you can't average.
But their ponies, they're under height. They're hooked as a team, and they pull either a rubber tire wagon or the land rush wagon across the finish line in a filled top track. So,
but for the 46-inch division, it's you start behind a barrel, and there's a line, and your cook is on the back or behind the wagon holding the bedroll, and they'll say, "Cook's load your wagon." You'll throw in your bedroll, and then you'll jump in the wagon. Now, you can jump in your wagon that's not moving, but if you're riding with Gracie, it's already leaving. It's leaving you, and she's dragging you. And then they'll shoot the gun usually right after the first cook hits the seat.
yes.
Except for Clinton, there's only two. There's an outrider and a cook driver. So
We like to say the land rush is a little easier, but it's still, to me, it's more chaotic. It's more stressful because
more cutthroat.
it is
It's
more cutthroat. And not just on the Clinton track. It was cutthroat at the Camden track this past year. Things can get a little heated at the start line. Yes.
The finish line, the start line, on the track, anywhere.
Which, I mean, everybody's out there. Your emotions are open. Everybody's put countless hours, money, effort into their animals, and we all want to win. But it does get heated. It really comes out right there.
That's why I will sit on my horse over there.
I'm not in it.
I'm like, y'all have it. Y'all have fun.
I remember that the land rush, when you're racing the rubber tire wagons,
It's two teams.
You've got two teams, you've got two barrels, you know where you're going.
Whole track.
Most of the time in the land rush, everybody at the meeting like, hey, are we gonna rotate barrels? We're gonna rotate spots. Oh yeah, we're going to. You get up there and nobody does it. Nobody does it.
I picked my spot.
I quite literally almost got ran over leading our ponies to the lawn at Clinton last year because, you line in, everybody's like in a single file line. No. Clear the hole. They're coming in 4 wide. We're fighting for a spot.
Yeah.
They might as well just race to the start line because
might as well just
it
might as well do a treat like you
from the car.
and just go ahead and break off.
Yeah. Start running, and I've seen these 46 ponies dragging these people because by day 3 at Clinton, they knew they were running to the line. They weren't getting led to the line. They were running to the line. So I mean, luckily we really slow work our ponies a lot, so they have good manners mostly. But
on day 3 they don't.
Yeah, on day 3. But some of them, I feel sorry for some of those people whose ponies were a little hotter, because they were running to that line, and the guys are just like biting ear and everything they can to hold these ponies back.
I think I remember on Sunday, you and Bobby were just like, feet planted, getting drug.
Pony in the chokehold. You're gonna have to hang tight here for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless. Okay. Can you describe the wagon that you guys use in 46 as opposed to Oklahoma Land Rush?
You talk about the rubber tire, and I'll talk about that.
Okay, so the rubber tire, ours weighs like 125 pounds. They can weigh anything. I mean, they can weigh from like 5 pounds to whatever. It just depends on who you can have build them the lightest, pretty much. So there's really no rules on that besides the tarp. I mean, you've got to have a tarp that's the same size. It's got to cover the whole back.
3 foot.
It's
Right,
3 foot.
yeah, something like that.
It's 3 foot. But other than that, there's really no specifics on the rubber tire compared to the Land Rush wagon.
So the Land Rush wagon does have specifics. At the association, it's called an outlaw, so that you can be challenged, and your wagon can be weighed and everything as far as your Land Rush wagon. However, at Clinton, your wagon has to weigh 300 pounds. So that includes your tongue, and your tarp, just all your gear right there. It's got to be a 7 foot box, I believe. I
think it's going to be 4 foot wide.
4 foot wide, 7 foot box, something like that. But it does have to weigh 300 pounds. Your Land Rush wagon can have bearings, so that's the only wagon that is the, what's the word I'm looking for? I would say that's the only wagon in the Western Heritage Preserve that is similar to the classic wagons, but it can have bearings, whereas the other ones can't.
So mini classic, as everybody calls it.
The mini classic wagon can have bearings. Other than that, I don't think there's any other specifics.
Okay. So the division uses a 3-man team. Can you explain what the different roles and responsibilities of each person is?
Okay, yeah. So the driver's role is to listen carefully for the gun and know whenever to send their team. I get a little anxious and I send the team, I'll
Her goal is not to leave me at the line,
Yeah.
and she tries.
When I feel Aaron hit the seat, it's like the ponies feel it, man. It's not me, you know. It's like
she doesn't even
know what's coming.
No, she feels me grab the metal part of the wagon right there behind or in front of the tarp. That's what she feels. Me trying to get in.
I can hear them chit chatting back there, and I'm talking to the ponies. I'm talking to my people up front, who's controlling the ponies, and until that gun fires, and I'll hear cooks, and when I hear a couple steps towards the wagon, I'm cueing them. Sometimes they just take my cue, not as I'm not waking you up. It's time to go, Mom. I was already awake. We're ready now.
I think she hears my spurs jingling because I don't ever take my boots off.
She needs to wear some tinny.
I'm gonna have to start wearing finishing so she doesn't hear me.
Get some on clouds so it sounds like you're walking on a cloud. I can't hear you coming.
Betsy can hook you up.
Hook us up with, hey, I'm telling you, I got my first pair. They're awesome. But anyways, yes, as the driver's role, paying attention to your team, making sure, whenever your cook gets out, they've got everything, making sure your lines aren't tangled, that's your role at the start. And then you kind of got to rely on your team as the driver. They've got to do their thing. I've got to get myself around this barrel, and I'm paying attention to those other teams while I don't have my help here, and then when your cook gets in, they're going to help you pick up that role of helping you where everybody is. As the driver, you've got the responsibility of making decisions based on the information that your cook is giving you. If hey, somebody's coming on your inside, you double check, but you're having to make the decisions of when is the right time to hold back and then take the inside on the curve. When is the right time to take the outside because you can catch them to the finish line, and that's the driver's responsibilities. Aaron,
so as a cook, I start out behind the wagon. My main goal is to hit Gracie in the back of the head with my bedroll.
Solid.
That is the main goal. Because if I don't, I'm just gonna leave it on the ground. So I have to chunk it in. But I have to drag it on the ground before they say cooks load your wagon. So then I'll chunk it in, and then I have to manage to get in the wagon with her. Once I do that, my job is to specifically tell her where the other team is, if she's clear to come over, or if she needs to wait, or I just need to help her know where everything is.
And a lot of the times I'm like, do we have Cooper? So
yeah, so it's like, where's Cooper?
So Cooper outrides for us, and his role is he's probably got the hardest role. He has to keep
he was trained by the best.
Yes, he was. He has to keep his on the ground until the gun fires. It's not Cook's load your wagon, he can't throw. It has to stay on the ground till the gun fires. Then as we're already leaving and Aaron's, hanging on to the side, he's still got to miss Aaron and hit the wagon, and he gets and then he has to take his horse and round the barrel and get on and pass us. He is very good at it. He was trained by the best, but he has handed Aaron the stove a few times, but he's not going to leave without it, and he's going to dang sure get there as best he can.
And he makes sure, he's like, Aaron! I'm like, what?
Yeah, he knows his role.
And he just, he's right there. He's as close as we are. And he just hands it to me, and I'm like,
now he has been,
I like that.
Yeah. He has been riding a legend since he started riding with it. He rides my gray. He rides my gray horse, my short little gray horse. The bald-faced bay.
Brent.
That's Brent's legend.
Yeah, he won't let us use that one.
So I saw him at Camden.
Yeah,
and
chasing that one.
Yes, and you guys just start circling, and then he circles with
comes
us.
to camp.
Sounds like that.
He's probably
he weighs his drop
22 or 23. That's Rooster.
Well, Rooster's
That's
beautiful.
Rooster. Yep, that's
he needs
Brent's
to be
baby.
put in the Hall of Fame.
He write him up a letter and send it to Dapple.
I think he definitely, because he's been around the Clinton track so many times. He's been around that Clinton track and knows camp at every race, But yeah, Cooper's rode my gray horse that Derek Barger used to outride on in Big Mules.
Okay, I feel like
the little gray that he used to outride on. His name is Hurricane. He's well known around the wagon racing community. I actually bought him as a barrel racing horse. Keely Reynolds rode him when we were kids, and I was rodeoing, and I needed something to finish the season on because one of my horses got hurt. And I actually bought him to run barrels on, and I ran barrels. I got tied. I breakawayed on him. I've won saddles on him. And then when we started wagon racing, I'm like, he used to wagon race before I bought him. He's been laid off 4 or 5 years.
We'll just throw it in and see what he does.
We took him to a race, and it was like he was just eating grass at the line and just knows his job. I mean, he just does it. Everybody, when we went to Cooper and asked him to outride
at Whiskey Ridge
for
52s.
It was 52s. We went and asked him to outride, and his mom or Bobby might have looked at me and goes, "Who do you have for him to ride?" And I said, "Hurricane." And Leanna was like, "Who is that?" And Bobby was like, "Oh, he's fine. He's fine." Like, he knew Derek had rode that horse. He knew that the Desperados had owned him. He just got up in age, and they couldn't, they've got them fast mules. You know about the fast mules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Hurricane ain't going to catch those fast mules.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. He did back in his day. I think he's caught some pretty fast teams, and I've watched him catch a classic wagon. But he's 22 now, so
I'm 23.
yeah, this spring. He's a 05 baby. So he's getting up there. But definitely Cooper, when he's on Hurricane, he's got his roll down. It's like a routine for him.
Yeah.
It's like tying his shoe. He loads his box and gets on the horse, and
I thought he was going to quit us at Whiskey Ridge after he bounced and then bounced back over and then finally got on the horse.
Yeah, do you remember that?
So
at Whiskey Ridge, we were running against Outlaws,
No.
I believe.
No, we were running against Daddy's Money.
Okay, J.D. Pennington was out riding for them.
Yes.
J.D.
Bless, he's a force to be
Oh,
reckoned with.
yeah.
in and of
Yes.
itself.
Oh.
Yeah, and them boys grew up together, Cooper and JD. So it's fun in that clip that JD's looking back at Cooper and he's like, "Get on your horse!" And Cooper bounded and he bounded.
Yeah, and then he was so upset 'cause he dropped the box in the process.
Yeah,
So
right
That's
after he
okay.
got on, he was like, he said he got on, he's good, and he grabbed it to hand it to Aaron, and when he was trying to grab it,
it just,
I should have dropped it. That was the only time I think I can ever think about Cooper not getting the box in a wagon.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Okay. What can we talk a little bit more about the outrider's responsibility? So we talked about passing off the stove. What's going through your head mid-race? And aside from making sure you don't get taken out by the chaos, what do you have to be aware of?
So, this may sound a little cocky, but I'm not worried about getting run over or taken out.
That's a good thing to hear.
I'm not worried about it at all. The only thing I'm worried about is getting hit on that line.
Mhm.
But I'm full confidence in her that she will get me out of the way because she's very she's not going to hurt herself in the process. And she's not going to let herself get hurt. So, there's so many times that everybody's like, "Oh, she slipped so many times." I'm like, "When? I didn't feel it."
Yeah.
Gracie's like, because at Baker Spade, the first year I ran her, she's like, "Aaron, she about went down in that curve." And I'm like, "No, she didn't." So, I have full confidence in that horse that she's going to get me out of the way and she's going to keep me safe and herself.
So since you brought that up, why is our livestock so important, and why is it so detrimental to have an animal that you can trust?
You see so many wrecks and you see so many people get hurt on these horses. And I don't really know if it's because they just don't have the surest feet or if it's because the track's not good or if they're just not taking the right steps. But it's important to have a horse that has really good foot placement.
Mhm.
And I think that it's possible that, oh my gosh,
Well, it's a lot because
train of thought.
I've seen some really sure-footed horses just take the wrong one step.
Yeah.
I've seen
And that's all it takes. It's
it's
just
just one step. But I remember going into what Erin was talking about. I remember the first time that we ran at Clinton the year she won it. Is she took her mare out there, and
I show her every track.
that's what I was about to say. That's the big importance of her safety is. I remember telling Erin something that I can't remember who told it to me. It might have been Deshawn or but they said, "You pick your spot and you drive her to it."
Yes.
And I remember the first time I told Erin that was at Rock Bottom. It was like our second race together back in 23 before Clinton. And I said, "Go out there and pick your spot and drive her to it." And she was out there that morning walking that track, and she showed that mare that track, and was going to ensure that safety of that mare because she doesn't just outride on that mare.
No.
It's one of her mounts, So, of course, all of our animals we want to keep safe, but to ensure safety, she walks that track and she picks her spot.
Now I can't walk the track anymore. I probably have to lead her on the track, but I still, it's important to show them the track because they need to feel what they're stepping on and what ground they're on. It's just like taking your horse to the rodeo and loping in the arena. Like you need them to feel the ground so they know what it's going to be like.
That makes complete sense. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. How do you build trust and consistency among the 3-man team with everything going on?
Many hours of practicing. Lots of miles driven, lots of communication. Now, That's definitely trust. You know, you can always. I will say something about Erin is what I loved when we became a team is girl pulls her weight. As the driver, you know, there's probably people who can relate, but as a driver, you know, you're taking everything. You're exercising everything. You're bringing this that, and with Erin, it's a partnership. You know, she's there. She's what you know. What time are we going to work today? What time are we going to swim today? You know, that builds trust, and that builds winners, in my opinion. As far as consistency goes, consistency is a little more tricky, and like we just said, anything can happen out there on the track. I mean, when you're wagon racing, somebody. You never know. You could do everything perfectly, just like you've practiced, and get smacked in the side,
or a tire fall off, or go flat.
Just we've rode on flats before.
We have duct tape tires on that.
Yeah, we're one away. Let's throw some air in it and put some duct tape on it. It'll be great. It'll be great. You know,
twisted spill glass car. Oh crap.
Yeah, but building the trust and everything. That's definitely you got to have everybody on board for that. It's not a
the commitment.
Yeah, and you gotta have the drive. I mean, there's some days you're just like, why do we do this? Why are we putting like all this money, you know? And then something happens and it just opens your eyes, you know. And you build the team. You're building the team for sure.
Very solid answers.
Consistency's hard though in the wagon racing world.
She's like,
something will come up lame, you know.
Do you wanna work ponies today? And I'm like, Gracie, it is pouring rain. She's like, so? And I was like,
it might be raining at the races.
No. We're not. Give them a day off.
So, which also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but each event, their tracks are not the same. It may be the same distance, but it's not the same terrain.
And even some of them aren't the same distance. I mean, some are shorter than others. Like the Chase Outlaw track.
That track was a ball.
It was huge. I was like, there ain't no way these ponies aren't going to be out of breath. Because, I mean, it was right after Clinton. Everybody's taking a break for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Take a breather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we've ran all year long. Clinton's over. We can take a break for a minute. And then Chase Outlaw's raced. But that track was... I mean, we didn't run it. But we went and watched. And I was like, wow.
Yeah. Those horses that did the sled pull were
rugsing. Watching, like, Wiles on the...
Yes. Just flipping around and then doing all the things. Oh, yeah.
Or the wild horse.
Always thought it was good.
Yes, I think that was my favorite when you see him, like, grabbing the ear and then just getting drug with it in real time. Yes.
He had his momentum going though. He was working with it.
Oh, he has practiced all year long holding these.
He's held I think he's held ponies for everybody. He's always there to help.
Yeah. I interviewed him at Baker's Spain. I was like, okay, what do you want to tell the audience? And he was like, we need more holders. I'm so tired of this. I was like, okay.
He's not scared though. Like he's not scared. If you've got something that needs a firm holder, like we know who we're calling, you know.
He's kind of,
he's got
secured his place.
For sure. We have an argument every time we're going, like, I'm like, we're 5. Erin's like, we're 6. I'm like, we went to the same meeting, Gracie, get it together, you know?
Because she just listens to me. She doesn't really listen to the meeting. She talks to everybody. And I'm over here just, like, writing on the sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the clipboard. You know, she's on my back writing, and I'm talking to somebody, you know? Hey, are we going to rotate barrels in the land rush this weekend, or are we just going to free-for-all it, you know? And Erin's over here like, shh, you know?
So this is why ponies are harnessed an hour before the race.
Yeah.
They're harnessed, and in the middle of the track, when they start 46s, we're there. I mean, we're there.
And so
she argues with me. She's like, we're not heat 5. And I'm like, yes, we are.
Next heat,
like,
Twisted Spoke. And, you know, I'm like,
I told you.
And then I'll be like, where's Cooper? Where's Cooper?
Yeah, Cooper's nowhere in sight.
He's chit-chatting, too, somewhere. Yeah. Like, he's on gray, you know, somewhere. But trust me, he's going to be at the line. Like, we've gone to the line, and we'll see Cooper coming. He's always there. As long as we cross the finish line and he's in front, we're there.
I'm the one that takes us seriously.
I will say, though, as far as, like, we have our little conversation of how many gunshots until we go. And then it's like, I'll get the paper to prove it to you, you know? Wait, look, see what I wrote? Yeah, see what I wrote? Yes. So that's definitely the first thing. We get to the line. As we're going to the line, Erin's double checking. We have our bedroll, our stove, that I've got my little check lines taped back here where they don't tangle or get wadded up. You know, I'm looking, lines look good, snaps look good. You know, she's like, we've taped everything. Erin's going to have tape with her.
Which nobody else is allowed to tape any clips. Nobody.
Except you.
Except us two.
Yeah, us too. Like,
Usually not even her.
they can tear the tape and hand it to us, you know, but it's always the
Yeah.
tape's cheap and we come back to the trailer with our tongue.
Well, every
You know.
time somebody else has taped our stuff,
It comes undone.
it's kind of undone. So
If you want it done right, you do it yourself.
exactly. Even my husband. I mean, he's
I was
an
about to
electrician.
say.
He deals with electrical tape all the time, and it still comes undone.
Bless him.
So
Bless him. We think that's it. We do joke about that because he's been an electrician
yes.
all since out of high school. So, but we go to the line. We get our lives together and have our moment of and
Yelling at Cooper, "Here's your box, take it."
yep. And we're making sure, and we've got everybody lined up. You know, we're trying to pay attention, listening. Gunfires. It's either I don't know. It's a solid 10-15 seconds of this is going to be a good run or it's not. It's that start when we're rounding the barrel as far as rubber tire goes. The gunfires, you're out. You know, you're deciding where you're going to place yourself for that first stretch before the curve. You place yourself, you make your curve, and then you place yourself for the next stretch because most of the tracks are in either a oval or circle or horseshoe type shape. Mostly horseshoe, I would say. Except for at Clinton, you've got the straight shot, and going to the line is totally different.
It's every man for themselves.
We don't get to communicate
No.
during
I mean, even
a land rush run. And at the association, they run a separate. So they'll run Outrider first or Wagon first, either one. I think it's most of the time Wagon first. And so we don't get to communicate. Like, I remember last year at Camden, I got the ponies woed down and I made a circle and I like tucked the check lines under my arm and I get the camera up, you know, because I can't communicate with Aaron, and then I'm like shaking. It's a horrible video.
At this point,
We're just counting on y'all at that point, you know.
We put it covered.
I'm like, okay, when are they gonna post this?
Yeah, because we
Because Gracie's video is not worth it.
we don't get to communicate, and you can just hear me where I've just been hollering, you know, and we don't get the same experience going to the line when we're doing land rush. You know, she'll get to watch me, and then I'll get to watch her. We leave the trailer together, you know. Yeah, sometimes. We'll leave the trailer together. It looks different versus land rush and rubber tire,
Okay.
for sure.
What do you feel like is the most exciting part of the race from your perspective?
The finish line.
When it's finally done.
When it's over. No, the whole part is exciting. I really enjoy the whole thing. But the finish line is definitely, because at that point you're asking your ponies and your horses for extra.
Yeah.
Because they're already so tired.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't matter how much in shape they are. At some point, they're getting tired. Because, I mean, the heat exhaustion, for one.
Yeah.
So.
It got
hot
this summer.
Yes.
We take frog togs. And we'll have the frog togs down there in our little mini cooler, and people probably think we spoil our ponies, but I mean, we feel better, you know?
It's what makes them...
Wrapping them around their necks.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, we take it side by side every race we went to, except for Clinton, and we have buckets of water in the back of them.
We do.
I'm
So,
a fan of the 4-up side by side.
yeah.
Yeah, we love it.
Okay, what are some of the biggest challenges that you guys face?
I mean, as far as rubber tire goes, I would say getting off the line with all of your P's and Q's together. You've dotted your T's, or dotted your I's, crossed your T's, all the things. That's about what it's like. That's a perfect explanation.
Like
But with having everything in place, getting off the line, you've got your outrider mounted, you've got your cook in the wagon, you've got your bedroll in your stove, and your ponies are ready to run. I would say that's probably the most challenging thing, you know, and it depends on your livestock. We've got a little pony that, man, he can spin a barrel and he can make your barrel go great, or he can rear.
Yeah.
And it's kind of depends on the day and depends on his mood. You really got to pay attention to him. But that can be challenging too, is your livestock, you know, getting them to the line.
I mean, they have a mind of their own.
They do. Yeah, your livestock.
Especially Zip. Zip really has a mind of his own.
Yes. We have what our plan, and they have their plan.
Yeah.
And the challenging part is putting those plans together based off of the hours you've put in.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I would say that's the most challenging. And then as far as land rush goes, communication with the other drivers and getting everybody getting on the same page is cutthroat. You might hear something, yeah, we're going to do this plan, and then you get to the line and it's not the same plan.
So whenever y'all mic up these land rush people at Clinton this year or next year, be aware. Because, there's, it's not just people in the wagon. It's not just the drivers. It is the outriders.
Outriders too,
Because I mean, your horse could bump into somebody else's horse and it just tick them off. Oh, it's happened. Because my mare does not just stand.
She doesn't just stand. Yeah, so that can be challenging too. Is making everything run smoothly with the livestock and the racers.
But the best part, I think, after is once it's over, everybody's friends again. But it's once you get into that line, nobody's friends.
What's that saying? Is I'll help you any way I can till you get to the line.
Yeah.
We need it on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, we got the store to sell it.
Yes. Put it right here in the store. Yeah, we could definitely sell some of those T-shirts.
I never say too. You could set up a booth and just sell them at the races.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, while we're on the livestock topic, how can you tell if a set of ponies is going to take to this type of work, or
Ooh,
are there some mannerisms or something that you guys kind of pick up on?
We talked about this.
So we have a lot of ponies right now, but at first we did not.
They were hard to find.
They are so hard to find, especially 46-inch ponies. You'll find like 47-inch, 43-inch, everything but 46.
Or you'll find young ones and you don't know if they're going to make it to that hot,
Which we've gambled this year. We've got quite a few young ones. But, I mean, knowing if they're going to take to it, the one thing that we really look for is these kid ponies that aren't kid ponies.
A little spunk to them,
My dad has a few of those, but they're not 46-inch.
What are they?
They're a little bit bigger. I don't know. I think was
Yeah, what are they? Let's talk.
Oh, one was a buckboard
52
pony that he used, and then now his would be all 52s.
Yeah, that's
So if you
definitely.
guys, I don't know if he still has them, but we can definitely ask that. You guys are in the market.
Yes.
We're always in the market for ponies. We shouldn't be, but we are. Like we talked about the other day. We're like, we're gonna have to weed through some this spring. Like, see who has.
Gracie's like, we have to sell things, and I'm like, no, we have to keep them all.
We
have to keep them all.
I swear, we are just. We have over. We counted the other day. Aaron speeding. How many at your house?
17.
And I have. I think I have like 16 or 17 at my house right now too. So between us, like.
Right, so you're going to start a training program and sell them.
No.
But we get stingy with them because they're so hard to find.
Well, it's not even that. It's because it takes a long time to train
put one in
a
it.
pony.
I mean,
And but it's like our little pony Zip. He's been through so many people, and I feel like, and everybody sold him for a reason. They're like, oh, he's just not fast enough. But
he's won us plenty of stuff.
yeah.
But we work him. I mean, everybody's got their own training program, But he's getting up there in age, But it's hard to weed through stuff like that because
It takes so many years.
we've started just breeding stuff because they're hard to find, and you know what you're raising, you know what you're crossing, you know what you're raising, you know what your goal is. But as far as selecting the ones, we've had the 44 with all the heart. His name is Magic. That was our
Dark pony.
I think the year Aaron won it. Like, I was so racing Baby Magic. We went on Baby Magic because he's just a little bit shorter.
He's 44 inches and he's just like this wide.
Yes, but he's got all the heart. Like, if he had the body, winner.
100%.
And then you've got these ponies that you're like, oh my gosh, did you see this pony? Like, that's great. Look how it's built. And they're just like, so it's not just the build and the athleticism that's in their body, it's their heart. So you've got to find a pony that's got both. So that's definitely what I would say it takes to pick out a race pony.
Okay. And are there, I guess, personality things that you can pick up on, like, while working them before you get that definitive answer?
Oh yeah, you can tell if they've got one too.
Yeah. Like, we picked up a pony. Her name's Iggy.
We traded
Magic for Pony Iggy.
But tell them a little bit of that because it's not. We know where Magic's at.
Yeah. So because I used to show livestock too. Tiny ball. Used to show livestock too. So my show coach, he picked this pony up for his granddaughter, and this pony was like,
A little spunky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lead line pony only, and somebody has to be strapped in, like, cause she's a little spunky. So she was passed down to him, and he was like, she can't ride this pony by herself.
She was only like 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, she was young, but I mean, people are like, oh, this pony will do fine. It's a pony. And they're just not like that. Not all of them. So we got this pony. He called me. He's like, hey, I have this pony. She's 46 inches tall, on the money. And I was like, are you sure? Because everybody says they're always 46 inches tall, and you get there and they're not.
Yeah. Right.
So I go over there to look at her, and I was like, okay. And then she got out while I was there, and I had to chase that thing on foot. I was like, yeah, this one's going to make it. This one.
Erin kept telling me, she was like, she's so fast.
And Gracie, at that point, she's like, You don't know what you're talking about.
But we were so discouraged at that point because we had 2 ponies and we had bought and they weren't, and they bought and we weren't, and we'd tried and they weren't, and it was just like, this is impossible, and then
at that point she was ready to quit.
Yeah, I was just like, we're just gonna have to find,
something else.
We're gonna still do it, but it's like, we're not gonna go and spend the money and race when we don't have anything competitive. And then it was Magic. We drove him through parades. He used to be like a little show pony, so it was kind of just like they needed a pony, and this went off in their hands, and we just kind of swapped them. We still go get him and use him at Clinton when we want to ride in the little cart. He plows his garden with Magic. Magic's living his best life with a donkey, right?
He out there,
living his best life. He's probably like 7, 8, 9 now. He's not even old.
No,
so he's got plenty of years with this little girl.
Oh, and she can ride him, and she loves him.
Loves him.
But I don't think she calls him Magic. I forgot what she calls him.
He won't know.
He will never know.
But yeah, Iggy, we got Iggy.
But she was so discouraged. She was like, "That pony's not going to work." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, it's going to work. I just see someone foot. I know."
Yes.
And so, I go pick her up because he's like, "Just take her and drive her, see if she works." So I go and pick her up. Gracie won't even look at this pony. She's like, "I'm not, no." So I start grounding her on this pony. And she just picks up to it.
Yeah, left, right, has the handle, has the want to. And
we hooked her up that day.
Yeah, we raced her. Yeah, we raced her at... Did we race her at Rock Bottom first? Yeah, Rock Bottom. Yes. And then we took her to Camden that first year. And it was kind of crazy because the people who, had her before was they race. And they saw her at the race and they were like, "Is that pony?"
It was the nuts. It was Ray Nut.
I can see that.
He's that pony does not measure. I'm like, where she
put it to her?
Yes.
Because Tulsa used to ride her as a little girl. That was Tulsa's lead line pony. And if they would have known she would race, they would have been racing her.
Yeah, I believe that. Which Ashton said, she's like, this pony, she's like, I had to lead Tulsa on her. Yeah. So even Tulsa couldn't even ride her by herself.
She's a little handy.
And she is.
For her
age.
Yes. Yeah, but we call her Iggy now, and we're gonna race her this year. She had an injury, but she's gonna be back on the race market this year. So she had a year off.
So we'll be watching out for her.
Yes, yeah, we love Little Red Pony.
So what are some rules specific to the 46 pony division that fans might not be aware of? So spectators, people watching.
Probably that you can't average height.
Yeah,
probably that you can't bring in a 46.5 and put it with a 45. Probably. I would say that would probably be the number one, because we didn't even know that till this year. Which we've never tried to measure anything.
Yeah, they all go into the bar.
Yeah, everything we have.
The way the association measures. But I remember, at Clinton, I've seen, we see this shorter pony and then a pony that's 3 inches taller, but they average at Clinton as long as they match that magic number. And a lot of people don't know that are from the outside looking in.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Their hats.
Oh, and your shirts have to match to a T. Color.
Yeah, color, shade,
all of it.
Yeah.
So.
And I've seen some outriders have a bandana on their arm.
Oh, is that Clinton?
I don't know if it's just Clinton.
Yeah, so that's rookie. So the rookie races, they have to wear the bandana to be able to match your wagon with your outlet.
Yeah, which for the rookies, they have this piece of paper on the wagon. And then for the outriders, they just give you a bandana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your colors have to match. So your bandana matches.
But
paper.
It's not just rookies.
It's not.
It's everybody. There's some people that do not have bandanas. Like this year, I didn't have one.
Oh, that's right. Because sometimes, so if they have 4 in a heat, let's say they only have 3 colors, and they know there's a blank wagon, and we were the blank wagon.
Yeah.
So what skills are most important for success in this division?
Oh gosh,
dedication.
Okay. That's a
good. Go back to the commitment that we talked about. You have to have the commitment to work with each other and the animals.
The mindful decision making.
Oh yeah, when to make your moves on the track, when to choose your team and your livestock when another team may not be, choose safety and choose another day to race. Fast reflexes.
Yeah,
gotta have those fast reflexes. That's something that grows, I guess, as you race.
You gotta have the desire to want to do it too. I mean, you've got to want to do it, or else, you can go out there and get somebody else hurt or yourself.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Do you feel like those same skills transfer over to Oklahoma Land Rush?
Oh, yes.
Are
they more intense in Oklahoma Land Rush?
All of them. Yes,
I would say. Yeah.
You gotta have some level of composure. there's got to be some level of composure when it comes to like heated moments or
Control. Self-control.
Yes, yeah. 'Cause, yeah, there's been a few times when like you're doing everything to keep your livestock where it needs to be, and Aaron's over here like I'm driving and got her hand over my mouth. It's like you
like, shh. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's racing.
rubbing is racing. That's right. Rubbing is racing. You want everybody safe at the end of the day, but we all want to win. And there's a fine line of composure, even in the heated moments of stress and anxiety. When you're going to the line, you've got to still compose yourself because you're in charge of your team, your wagon, your animals. You're in charge of that, so you got to be able to compose.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
So Gracie had this bright idea of making a golf cart into a wagon.
People have probably seen this thing at Clinton, and
Yes.
And it's not just the golf cart. Like under the seat is a little girl construction.
Yeah, do not look under
the little YouTube of how can I take some 10-gauge wire and wire up some speakers, a light bar, the inside lights, all on toggle switches. And it's awesome.
If you're an electrician, do not look. It's a fire hazard.
Yes. Yeah, we keep it unhooked if it's like in the building,
Oh, okay.
But we got this.
We're following it.
Yeah. So I bought this golf cart, and we like to call this our training wagon. I would say we use it to train because it already had like the brake system in it. We took it over to the box, and they cut that front axle out of it and built us the swivel, left the brakes in it, left the lines, tightened the brakes, and then they built us a tongue. So when we started using that to train, it's really nice because you have the brakes. Mm-hmm. So whenever you hook ponies up, you can kind of give them a little guidance if they want to get a little spunk to them. Well, then we had this idea of
doing 4-up.
Yes, like if we put a good pony and a good pony,
we could put the two wild ponies in the middle. And they can't go nowhere.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to work with their teammate here, and they're kind of sandwiched, and they learned a little quicker. So we had the fox build us a 4-up tongue. Aaron sits, I sit. We'll hook them 4 wide, and then we just kind of take them off, and there they go, And we hook them 4 wide and put the babies in the middle, as you would like to call it. And then we'll flip flop them, But you give them a little guidance, Aaron's ground drove them, a little bit, if they really need it. But man, that first day or I would say the first hour is a little figuring it out.
It's rough. The first hour is rough.
And then depending on the pony, the second day they might not want to harness as easy.
Mm-hmm. And Gracie likes to text and drive. Not really text and drive, but she likes to take videos and drive these ponies. I'm like, Gracie, you can take a video after we're on the straight and narrow.
Crop our feet up. It's kind of chilling. Aaron's over here,
Just like,
you're running the brakes, Gracie. Don't forget,
So I'm like, you are the only one with brakes right now. And by the way, you're on the outside, and I'm in the ditch here.
Yeah.
Take me out.
Before we hook them up, too, we will, most of the time,
we'll let them sit harnessed.
Yeah, we'll tie them to the back of the wagon and pony them. We'll harness them and let them jingle around a little bit, especially the babies. Like, we don't hook our babies up as babies. We let them just kind of wear their harness and be a pony, and then when it comes time to stick them in the wagon, they've already experienced a lot of it, so it's a little easier.
Now, we have met our maker with Baby Red.
Oh. Baby Red, he tried to kick y'all's drone at 11 point. If you get the drone footage out
of the land rush
at 11 point, when that drone came over the top of us, he just heard it and he just like kicked out of the harness and thought he was going to be able to kick that drone.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But he is,
we've drove him and we've harnessed him and we've rubbed all over him.
Be sensitized.
Tried, and that he will kick the.
You touch him, and he feels you touch him. Just whack. Just be ready for it.
I'm not going anywhere near that way.
Yeah, if you see a red pony hooked up,
a little red pony,
we call it
red. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. This is supposed to be his year to shine. He's finally at the age, and we've introduced him right. And this is supposed to be his year to really kind of show us what you got, Baby Red.
This is not going to be his year to shine.
Yeah. No. We raced him at 11 point.
Yeah.
And,
because, we've had him for a year, and he's coming 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he's been drove and pulled behind the wagon.
He's our,
harnessed and,
you cruise around Clinton, we put him miles on him, hook him to the little pleasure wagon. But he's so spunky, like,
he's a little wild card.
Yes. And we hooked him with our trusty, I call her our trusty rusty gray pony. We have our little gray pony that you probably always see hooked, but she was broke by the Amish when she was just a baby, and she's dead broke. But when you get to the line, boy, she's ready, you know. And so whenever we hooked Baby Red with her, we put her closer to the opponent.
And she probably doesn't like us very much because everything we break, it goes beside her. The wildest ones go beside her.
She's like, and I've earned my keep. Why am I the one getting thrown, you know?
Because Zip's a little bit on the muscle, so he's a little bit, he's ready to go.
But she's like, she's voice commanded.
Yeah.
Jee-haw, whoa, back. She's our little, I call her our voice commanded pony. Our Alexa pony.
Yeah. Alexa pony?
Yeah. She's our Alexa pony for sure. She works.
I love that.
But, yeah, we throw her in. We put her on the outside, closest. Like, if we're going down the road and we're hooking them ponies up to train, she's closest to the oncoming traffic.
Because she's not going over that yellow line.
No.
Or if she's
the
the car coming, she's pushing everything over to the ditch.
Yeah, she's great. She's our go-to. So she is our golf cart breaking pony.
Yes.
Love it.
We love the golf cart.
So we talked a little bit about the spunkiness, but also the willingness to work. What are some other qualities that makes a pony excel in either division, 46 or Oklahoma Landfresh?
Probably, it helps if they have a little bit of speed.
Yeah.
It helps if they have the speed.
Yeah. Yes, they have the heart, they have the build, but they gotta have the speed too.
And they've gotta have the endurance to do it.
Like that's one that not a lot of people think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get the show ponies that are bred right, but depending on their breed is if they have the endurance. I've seen some really fast ponies get gassed before they can get across the line and then just get past,
At these tracks, it really shows what they can take and what they can give you. But at Clinton, that's a short track. And if they get winded before they get there, a half a second, heck, a tenth of a second can determine if you're winning the championship or not.
Right.
So,
for sure.
a nose. That's all it takes is a nose.
That is all that it takes. Well, for someone watching either of these divisions for the first time, what is something that they should pay attention to?
Well, I would say a lot can happen in such a short amount of time. When we're racing the ponies versus the bigger horses or the bigger ponies, the ponies are smaller, so they're going to make quicker moves, smaller strides, quicker strides. They're stout, so you've got to have the reaction time. So maybe watch for the reaction time. Really pay attention because it happens faster, if you ask me.
Okay.
Which in the association, there's a lot of call-outs. So, you'll see the competitiveness between the two teams.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you should watch. Because most of the time, almost every team is called out.
Yeah.
There's hardly ever anybody that just races because they got paired with that person. So,
and maybe watch, the past races of who's raced against who and if they're racing against each other again. For sure.
So for those who may not know what a call-out is, what is that? And why is it significant?
So, a week or two before it's a week before the books close for the race, they will post, hey, it's call out time, and they'll post everybody that's signed up in that division for each division, and you'll call or text Miss Nancy, be like, hey, I'd like to race this team, or I'd like to race that team. So she will highlight you, so your call out is already marked, and when you get to that race, you race that person all weekend.
You're kind of calling them out, say, hey, I want to race against you.
I want to see what my ponies have.
Yeah. And do you guys have a team that you regularly call out?
I wouldn't say on a routine, depending on the past race, If something happens at one race where we're like, hey, I'd like to see if we can kind of match up with that time.
Yeah.
For sure.
We
get called out.
Yeah. I think we get called out more than we
get called out more than we call out.
Yeah.
For sure, I would say.
So you think that's an indicator that you guys are a pretty competitive team?
I hope so.
I would think so.
In a non-hockey way, last year for sure, because last year wasn't really the first year that we started
being competitive
and more consistent.
Yeah,
I would say we got called out a lot last year, depending on what we did that last year.
And there's a lot of teams that call out people just because they know they're a safe team to race.
We've done that
because they know they're not going to get your ponies or you hurt, or they're not going to run you off the track or run you over.
Yep.
So
they know your stock, they've watched you, and they watch, how your care on the track.
So it can also be a sign of respect.
Yes.
As well.
Yes. Okay. Very much so.
What is one of y'all's favorite memories from competing?
11-point showdown.
When Cooper handed us the
Yes.
box. Okay. Yeah, so that was a fun one. That was the first year for real to have that race, and they did an outstanding job. That was the first.
Mud was terrible.
Oh, yeah,
It
it
was-
dried out so
It
quick.
did dry out
Mhm.
quick.
He had that advantage being on the river. But I would say definitely when I'm just like, is Cooper coming? And she's like, yeah, he's here. And, you know, she's
And
just
there he
watching. And then all of a sudden, Aaron says, Cooper just handed me the box. And I was like,
I did. That was the first time he's ever done it.
I was like, it wasn't back there, you know?
I don't ever look in the back of the wagon. I mean, never. I don't think there's ever been a time that I'm like, yep, he got it in there. No. I'm just like, I trust him. I think,
Yeah, he's coming. We see him.
yeah.
And then I'm just, okay, it's great. It's all coming along.
We're just going along, and here he comes, and he's like, here you go.
I didn't hear him hollering.
I
Aaron,
didn't hear.
Aaron says that he was like, and you can watch the video, and you can just hear Cooper, Aaron! Aaron! But I'm just hollering at the ponies, you know, so I can't hear Cooper, but he was hollering at Aaron. She turned around, she's like, oh, crap, you know, give me the eyes. Yeah, that's
Thanks,
a super
buddy.
fun moment. I would say that one, but, man, if you know me and Aaron, we like to win. I would say that when Aaron rookied in 23, watching her go up there and get that buckle and then getting stuck in front of the old camera, and she's like, oh gosh, I'm not gonna do the
He's
interview like that.
And I'm just like, hi. And he's like, do you wanna thank the host? I'm like, nope, I'm good. I don't want to leave.
and then we won together at Camden. Like,
Yeah.
we both won. Like, we won Land Rush Wagon and Outrider, not last year, but the year before.
Yeah.
So winning together, like, I would say the memories of winning, because
Yeah.
that's what we did it for. You know, that and have fun, you know.
Yeah.
So,
How do you see Chuckwagon racing growing and evolving?
There's
Future.
so many youth right now.
yeah.
And there's so many youth that are out riding and running these 46-inch teams. And I hope they continue to grow. And I hope people continue to bring their children in and let them race. I mean,
Yep.
I know it's not the safest thing, but you're sitting beside your child. And I think that as long as people keep bringing their kids in and these kids keep having the desire and the want to do this, I think it'll continue to grow.
Definitely the upbringing of the little cowgirls and cowboys, you know. It can be a dying sport, but we look at it as it's not a dying sport because we see it growing.
Yeah, and it's like
You know.
you're kind of like in the know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
in the club that nobody else knows
Yes.
about.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me how many people do not know about it.
Mhm.
But, I mean, these kids, they go to school and like, I drove my
Yeah.
mom's wagon this weekend, or my dad's wagon this weekend. They're like, what are you talking about?
So, Brent Henderson's a legend. We know that in the
Yes.
wagon racing world. I mean, he's won it. He's raced in all kinds of divisions.
He's won heats with 3 wheels. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got those red mares he was running this last year. And was that the first race of the year?
the first race.
First race for us. Yeah, first race for those red mares and stuff. And he had kind of put them together. I had never rode with Brent on 3 wheels, but I knew Megan has. So Megan Waiters, who has always cooked for him at Clinton, he's took her on 3 wheels around the track a few different times, you know? Well, it plays like this, okay? Cooks, load your wagons. I've got her together. I'm in the wagon. Well, it was, pretty sloppy, so we went to slide, and when we slid enough off that track that we hit a bump right there below that white fence there at Malvern.
Yeah.
And when we hit that bump, that I felt something, and I was like,
And you see something.
yeah. Yeah, I felt it. And I felt it. And I looked back. And I was like, Brent, we're on 3 wheels. I'm like, okay, he's going to pull up. Like, it's fine. Like, he's going to pull up.
No, he's
and
professional.
he's going to circle us, in the infield. They're going to make a hole. It'll be fine. No. So I gather up, like, the stove and the box and everything. I've got it. I'm good. Well, I scoot to this side because we're starting to kick that mud back here, and I'm climbing on Brent. I'm just going to get up here with you. It
Setting the wish.
I was like, it looks safer. So in that first straight stretch, I'm in sheer panic. Like, at what point is he gonna pull up?
And Brent Anderson is just, composed.
I ain't even look back. So I look to the left of us, and here come like 3 cowboys, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna catch us. He's gonna stop. I don't know what's going on. I'm just back here doing my job. Okay, I'm not gonna drop this stove. So these 3 cowboys are coming, and they're catching up to us. And they get out in front of us, and all of a sudden I see them start pulling up, and I look over Brent's shoulder, and he got whacking them, and I'm like, oh God, okay, we're doing That's why they're not chasing us anymore, because they see that Brent's not paying attention. So anyways, at that point, we had crossed the mud hole, and they pulled the horses up. And I'm like, okay, here comes the curve. Okay, here comes the curve. I got to do something. I got to help, That's my job. So I get up, and I get up on my knees, and I put my butt on the edge of the buckboard.
Push it over.
I put my butt, and I reached there, and I grabbed the seat, and I got my stuff in my legs and everything. Well, I just kind of don't want to drag my hair on the ground, but I'm just going to live it here. This is, I'm just going to do it. So anyways, we round the curve, and I'm like, my goal at this point is I'm going to keep the back of this wagon off the ground the rest of this run.
And you did it pretty successfully.
I was really trying to counter the weight, and I'm glad I had my hair in a braid, because at one point I know it was touching the ground. Like, in that curve and that wheel and everything, I'm like, I'm away from it couldn't be on this side, Please don't catch my hair in the good wheel. But yeah, I remember putting my butt up there, and I was like, I'm leaning. He was like, you better lean. I was like, I'm trying. But he doesn't say, like, anything whenever we're racing, and I try not to be
solely focused.
Yeah, he's solely focused. I mean, you could yabber yabber back there, and he's not even gonna. But that's just like the rooster thing when we almost went on 3 wheels at Camden. But yep, I did. I put my butt up there and was going to counter my weight off those. Look, I'm doing it right now. I'm reliving it in this chair. Like, this is exactly how it went. But yeah, I countered that weight, and I remember when we got past the finish line and he starts pulling these ponies up, I was like, okay, we're good. No, that's when that wagon just started going left and right and left and right. No, it was just fishtail. I was like, it's gone. We're gone. We're gonna die right here. It was cool while we did it, but no, he got him stopped, and I was like, what are we gonna do? He's like, we're gonna go back to camp, put this wheel on. And there's a pretty nice shot where we circled back to the start line, and some people had got our wheel and gave it to us, and then
Gracie's just holding.
I'm holding the wheel, and he's like, just stay in. I'm like, oh, we made it this far. I'm not going anywhere. So we're holding the wheel and everything. But yeah, the communication around that track, I was like, they're coming, and he was like, you're not saying anything, Bryn's communication is not as well as mine and Aaron's. He doesn't say anything back. Like, at Camden, whenever Rooster was chasing us, I let him know when the outrider's coming. I'll tell him, outrider on the inside. So around the track, I kept saying,
Rooster's coming.
Rooster's coming. Rooster's coming. He's coming. And I was like, Rooster's on your inside. Because, I mean, Rooster, like, he could have hit Rooster by himself there with no guidance. And I just keep telling him, like, Rooster's there, We get past the finish line, and he's making a few circles, and he's like, where's Cooper? And different Cooper. Cooper Johnston was outrun on him. And I was like, I kept telling you Rooster was coming. He said, I just thought you meant he was chasing us. So, like, he was just so oblivious. He zoned to those ponies during the race. So, and Rooster just followed us back. I jumped out and got him.
I was baffled. He was just circling on you. Like, he knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah. He can, as legendary as he is, he can be a handful. Oh my god.
I feel like the best ones normally have.
He breaks more falters than any horse I've ever
He
sat on.
back.
Constantly.
He wants to be running. He wants to be free. Yeah, definitely a different communication.
Yeah.
I hope we don't go on 3 wheels again, but it's a repeat thing for him.
I was gonna say, it's like he's known. Nobody is surprised when it happens.
No.
I will be more surprised if he makes it through a full season.
I'm gonna try
without it.
I'm gonna try to talk him into putting a different axle and new wheels on the back
I
of that
think
wagon.
they
It's
did
always
reforce
the same.
it after that, because, I mean, there was a couple times we went over there to work ponies, and he had it
Torn apart
and lifted up. So I think he may have fixed it. No guarantee. Fingers crossed.
But he didn't lose one at Clinton, and he's lost one at Clinton
every year,
3-4 times, something. One day at least, he says he'll lose one, but it's always that same back wheel. So,
well, surely we just reinforced that, and it's all good.
Well, let's hope.
If it happens the next time, if it happens again, I'm just gonna try.
Let's just hope it's never a
catch the wheel.
I've never known it to be a front wheel.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. I really don't want to.
No.
I don't think I have. Have you, Betsy, seen a front?
Oh,
That's bad.
kind of a sled situation though when it comes on that back wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, do you guys have anything else you want to throw out that I've not asked?
Not to my knowledge. No. Not that I know of either. I could come up with something, but no. I think we're good.
Okay, well,
Just really look forward to what the 2026 season holds as we're sitting here on the edge of it, and what the venues and the track owners have to. I know they've all got it up their sleeves. We're really excited to see what they all have to offer, and
we've got a lot of new ponies.
Yes, yeah, we have a lot of new ponies. We've got probably over 6 or 8 new ponies. Oh, I would like to add that's the Whiskey Ridge. They posted about the 4-up 46 ponies. Did y'all see them post that?
I have not. You
Okay.
guys are actually letting me know. Okay.
So I reached out to Cindy. Like, I reached out to Aaron first, like, hey, we think we
wanna
got
do
so many ponies. Like, let's just hook them 4 wide for a race, not just for the golf cart.
Yeah,
like,
we
let's
have
just
so many ponies. We could do 3 teams.
Yeah, this year you'll probably see a Twisted Spoke 1 and 2 at every race this year.
Okay.
For 46 ponies. But yeah, as far as the 4-up ponies, I reached out to Cindy and I was like, I just saw this photo of the association racing 4-up 46-inch ponies. She's like, yeah, they used to do that, but then like there's not as many people wanting it. It's like, let's do it at Whiskey Ridge this year. And they were like, okay, if we get enough interest, we'll post them. So they posted something about it, and we were trying to tag people and get them interested in everything. But I would like to see us race our first 4-up 46 this year.
Which there's no outrider. It's just
no outrider. It's just 2 teams. So it'll be 8 ponies, 4 people.
Yep. So just like 4-up mules. Yeah.
Just like 4-up
without
mules.
the outrider.
Yeah, 4-up 46-inch ponies. So we're trying to get, I think we need at least 6 teams. 10 or shoot, we could do 2 of them, as many ponies as we have right now. It's insane.
Yeah.
So
we only provide
there's
third team if they find the
100%.
drivers.
And there's teams that can join and make one team. I mean,
and you're driving your
on the
ponies.
name, but
yeah, 2 drivers. You're driving yours, get somebody else to drive theirs. Yeah, or we know, like the Johnstons, Maddie has 2 sets of ponies, so Amanda could drive a set, she could drive a set, so definitely I'd maybe be looking for that. I'll say maybe be looking for something.
Let's hope
entertaining at Whiskey Ridge, for sure.
Right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. It's been fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us, for sure.
If not, I can go back to being a little more introverted and.
Thanks for listening to the CWC podcast.